Go.
Hey everybody, this is Indy Sandwich here. This
Hey.
week we are doing a review of Rayman Origins.
Oh my god.
Best game.
Liz here, joined by John
Hey.
and Lindsay, as you may have heard already.
Hey.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So I guess it's a pretty awesome game, I must
It's-
say. I have been banging on about it for a while.
I don't know what you're talking about. I like this game at all. I think it's too fun and too happy. Yeah.
Probably an interesting thing to point out to start with is that we've all played it on different platforms. So we've all had... It's the same experience, but slightly skewed, I
Well,
guess.
I mean, I'm still using an Xbox controller, so it's pretty much the same
Yeah.
as playing it as an Xbox then. But you were using
It's true.
Wii, right?
Yeah, I'm playing on Wii.
Yeah.
Simply
So-
because it was cheap and I bought it.
What were the controls like on that? Did you use the Wiimote and the nunchuck? Or just
Yeah,
the Wiimote?
it's pretty much the same as an Xbox, I imagine.
You just pretty much just hold and right stick and left stick move around kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool. Any motion controls built into it, or is it just purely?
I haven't used any. Doesn't mean there's not any. I don't think there are.
Okay.
The only
Because
real
you can
one,
use a classic controller as well, so I don't think there are.
Oh, cool.
it'd pretty much be the standard, like if there was waggle to punch someone and lift them remote
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
jump kind of thing.
Okay, so how happy did this game make you guys feel?
It's quite a happy game. It makes me giggle sometimes.
It's pretty happy.
I mean, you have to smile when playing this game. It's like
True.
one of those internet challenges. You cannot play this game without smiling.
I think
Yeah,
if you do,
it's
you
true.
have to take a shot or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess what makes it so happy is the music, for one. Half of it is full of all these, like... It's hard to describe it. It's not sound like children. It's just these happy la-las and doo-doos and doo-wops.
Mm.
It just... I don't know. It's hard to describe what they are. They're just, like, soothing. Soothingly happy. And then in all the settings, the coloration and the animations, like Rayman does this funny thrusty thing whenever you finish. That's hilarious to me. And you can hit, like I was playing the whole thing co-op, so you can hit your fellow player, like you can smack them, which is
Yeah.
fun.
Really, really fun.
It's
I
pretty
think
fun.
that's it. Yeah.
What else is happy about it? I guess the flow of levels I found really happy as well. Like there was this one little bit where it was full of all these fish, and they don't hurt.
That's
You just go over them, and it was just really soothing. Like I could play that for
You
hours.
just kind of move around.
Yeah, they move out of your way. You're just collecting all these little, like, I guess fairy sort of things. Best way to describe them. They're essentially coins in Mario, but they're happy little dudes that you have to save.
And if you
Fun.
collect the big one, they all turn red and have a party, essentially.
And then
Yeah.
and like double score.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
That is cool.
I love the way the enemies they don't die. Is it bubble eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you jump on them and then they blow up like they're a big bubble, and then they just if you hit them again you get like an extra.
Yeah, you get an extra one.
It's just awesome because they're just like because if you go through a whole bunch of them and then kill them all, there's just like these floating bubbles all over the screen.
Yeah, that is pretty fun.
Yeah.
GJ. I love the art style as well.
Yeah.
One
The
thing that
outside.
really picks it up. It's nice, smooth. It's definitely French, that's for sure.
Which is why I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's smooth.
It's just, yeah, it's something that translates, I guess. Like, it makes it a real sort of family game. As much as family games nowadays can be pretty crappy, like Wii Sports or whatever, like they're just for family, they're focused on family. This is something that I would legitimately play. Like, I really liked playing
Yeah.
co-op. It's
This
something
is-
that
you
is
can only
makes
play
it fun.
two-player co-op, right?
No, you can play 4, I'm pretty
Really?
sure.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the same as New Super Mario Brothers, where you can drop in and out, and if one of you dies, you can keep going, and then save the other one, and you can progress from there, which
pretty
makes
cool.
it really helpful in tricky bits, because half the time I couldn't do half of it, but
So
my
you had to
sister
get
could do the
someone
other
else
half.
to do it,
Yeah.
I wish I had someone to do it with me. I'd just pretty much just collect all the fairies and be like, yeah, well, what are you guys doing? Jeez, do your job. You had one thing to do. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You have to progress through the level. I get to collect everything.
Yeah, well, at the end of it, they do a tally, and you've got like a cardboard cutout thing, which is pretty funny as well. It's got like this big fat lady and then a skinny dude, kind of like in Viking outfits, which is
Yeah.
funny. So whoever wins gets into the bigger one, and you get, like, I guess the prowess. It has no real impact. It's just
Yeah,
a
and the
little
reason
challenge
it's there
within
is just
it.
for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
for fun.
a lot of this game it's there just for fun.
I mean, like some of the I haven't finished the game, so some of the later levels just coming up to them are just like, really, really stupid. Like you'll see a tree with sunglasses, and you're like, oh, that's a cool tree.
Yeah. There's a whole one that's set in like a kitchen.
And everything's
there's all
like a
these-
fry cook or something.
Yeah, everything's weirdly in context. It makes it really fun. Like there's a bit where it's kind of like you're riding on a rainbow as you unlock new areas. You just collect everything. You just bounce around like crazy. It's fun.
Yeah, this entire game really gave me the nostalgia of when I used to play, you know, like old kiddie platformers. And the old kiddie platformers I used to play, in retrospect, weren't actually that good. But this is a really good game, but it has that sort of feeling over it. So I also just got that massive hit of nostalgia from it.
Yeah, and the level progression is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, you've got this big map. You think you've explored it all, and then suddenly there's all this more stuff to do. Like, it does get harder, and by the end, it was pretty difficult. Like, a lot of it had to be perfectly timed.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be frustrating, but I get that with any game anyway. Like, it was just... I understood why I was failing, though, half the time, which is good.
Yeah.
The difficulty curve kind of does ramp up, but it's pretty smooth. And as you said, Liz, if you do die or do fail, you kind of know why you did. It's just a matter of starting again. Even though sometimes I did spend probably 20 lives on one area, and that little green guy popped up. He's like, "Yikes, you've been dying so much here. Are you sure you want to keep going?" I'm like, "Yes, I want to keep going."
Yeah, that makes me really mad. Something like that was in, I think, Red Dead Redemption. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I know how to do it.
I'm not gonna skip. I love in Explosion Man that it gives you the option to do that, but then when you do, it puts you in a tutu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, okay, you've done it, but, you know, you get a tutu now.
Speaking of tutus, how awesome is the treasure chest guys?
The ones where you chase them.
Yeah.
The red one. Yeah, they're pretty boss.
I love the music. It just zooms in on him, and the treasure chest guy's like,
Yeah.
"Uh-oh, he's
He
gonna
has
punch
this
me up."
thought bubble. It's so funny. Yeah.
And then
It's
just
pretty
a matter
good.
of like a speed level.
It's a good way to break up the level, yeah.
Oh, and those ones get so hard by the end because you just got to go
Yes.
through and get everything absolutely perfect. I mean, I went through and got everything and got to the secret bonus level, which is also cool. But yeah, that thing is just like, okay, this is the hardest part of the actual game. It's the when you need the most skill.
Yeah.
So rewarding.
It does get quite frustrating sometimes, especially if you just miss a jump by like half an inch, and you're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
And you have to go back to the start, and you see the little
Like
green
it.
guy, and he's like, "Dude, oh, jeez, I just lost it then." Oh my god.
It sucks when you're like, no, this has to be the last area of the level. I just got through all the hard bits. I have to do one jump, and then he'll land, and I'll be able to get him. But I failed.
Yeah.
That's what's sad.
That happens a lot. I find myself going through a lot of the levels just like the first time I come across a level, I kind of fluke it. And I just, float
Yeah.
really well, but I miss like
Yeah.
one fly, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll go back and do it again. And then every time I do it from then on, I just suck so much. I keep dying. And I always miss like the last part by like a centimeter. It gets very frustrating.
Was that this weird
I think-
point?
I think the only area I didn't really enjoy as much was probably ice. Because ice in
very
general,
slippery.
I've never really understood why it's included in games because the whole friction thing isn't fun.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
it's
annoying.
a really, really cheap way to get variation in the game.
Yeah, which is why I understand, but how it's just more frustrating, I think, because especially
Yeah.
when you're playing co-op, and that area is a lot about going mini. And when you go mini, when you do your, like, I guess your punch, because you can break objects and hit enemies and stuff, you have to do that sometimes to get your co-op friend back, so you
I
have to pop
did
their
kind
bubble.
of just run through ice quite a
You
like, I
run really
didn't-
fast and you could slip off and die, and that's just annoying sometimes. You
Yeah,
need
that's
like a
why I didn't
safety
really
bar or
spend too much
something.
there. I just want to get out of here pretty fast.
Yeah. But that's what's good about it too, because you don't have to do everything. You can
Yeah.
just screw it. I'm going to finish and just play it later.
It is quite
Yeah.
easy to do that, but doing everything is quite hard, so it's got a good balance
Yeah.
there, I think.
It's got that length of, okay, this is what you can do in this level, and if you do this, it's really, really fantastic and will give you lots of praise and, sparkles and explosions and everything. But if you don't finish it, then just go off and do that in another level.
Yeah, because you always get
There's
the
no
happy
pressure
music
on
at the end, no matter how you finish. It's always just like,
Yeah.
yeah, you finished, awesome. And you've got like this cannon thing which counts all the dudes you collected. So you get one for getting half the amount, and you get another for getting the full amount. And the half amount one is always like, yeah, I did all right, didn't I?
How
Yeah,
how often did
got
you
a
guys
little
find
bump.
you were getting the big one where it's like the big coins where they do the disco dance?
Not often at all.
Oh, not very often.
I only got it on the missions with Mosquito. Like every one of those
Those are
missions
so
I've gone on.
fun!
Those are great.
That's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, totally. It turns like the game into like a shooter, like a side-scrolling shooter. It's so cool.
It kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong. I wish they had more of these animals in the game, just to break it up a bit, because it does feel like it's a bit too platformy at moments, and then you get to this part and you're like, oh, so refreshing.
So, alright, Rayman. What's the next one? There's a
Legends,
sequel
I think?
coming out. Yeah, Legends.
Is they doing a sequel to this one?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, it's definitely on Wii U because I saw this weird teaser trailer thing where you could put objects on the screen of the Wii U and stuff would happen. So you
wow.
could put a love heart on and you get heaps of love hearts,
Oh, cool.
which is cool.
Cool.
Is it still like the same 2D platforming kind of style?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, nice. That's
I
good.
saw a few screenshots of it and it looks very much same art style, same characters, same kind of positioning type of thing, so it's
I'm just glad they're not doing like, well, they still are doing tons of Rabbids stuff, but at least they're going back to Rayman finally.
yeah.
Yeah. He's just an interesting dude.
Yeah.
I guess the best way to describe this game for me is character. It just
Yeah.
has so much character. Has
does.
charm, has fun.
It has
Just-
absolutely like no story, but it really doesn't need any story.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's part of why it's fun, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Like I got to the end, and then like
We went back to sleep, yeah.
yeah, the boss battle at the end, or the kind of the climax of the game. The gameplay in that climax was great, but the actual like who you're fighting, I still have absolutely no idea what happened at the end of that game.
Yeah, it was a bit strange, but
I have a star on my hat. No, I do not.
yeah. That was
What?
weird. Because the story is you open and you're asleep. And you're asleep with all your buddies. And there's this old lady. And your music, it's making this really awesome music, which is also cool. It's a good introduction to the game. You're like, yeah, this is cool. And then like you're making this sort of beat and the lady gets really annoyed. So she's like, shut up. So then you wake up and you're like, okay, let's just go run. And then you go
Yeah.
play the game. And then you come back.
And they trap you or something. You just start off trapped.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then stuff happens, and then it's just bright colours and fun and.
It's not really super explained, but it doesn't really need to be explained because you still want to play anyway.
Yeah.
It's cool. Good
Yeah,
game.
the selling point isn't the story. It's all about the gameplay. It's quite tight platforming. It is really smooth, and it's just really funny just to come across the variants of objects you'll find, because you'll have the objects which will like pretty standard. It's essentially a jump pad, but maybe this time it's a fork, a lady fork yelling,
Yeah.
and then if you stay
Or like
too
a
long
sleeping
on it,
dude, yeah.
yeah, like they're just really ridiculous. But you know what it is when you jump on it. You're like, oh, okay, so this is what that is kind of thing.
I just love just the level of polish and just the little details that that you just discover, and it's just really, really cool. Like there's this one thing that you do if you dive down and you're going like 40-degree angle to the ground, and then you start rolling, and then you press attack. You do this cool kind of pinwheel, legs and arms everywhere attack. But that attack is really hard to do, and you would hardly ever actually have a moment when you need to use it.
It's like a
But
cartwheel or something, or
Pardon?
it's like a cartwheel or something.
Yeah, it's like a cartwheel, attack, legs, arms. There's just like a circle of frenzied punching and stuff.
Cool.
And then you just go out. It's just like, because, you know, when you've got another thing that's awesome about the game is in the loading screen, you can actually just walk along
Yeah.
up.
That was pretty fun with co-op because you spend the whole time running away from each other. You run to the ends and do like a draw sort of things, and you run back and slap each other. Just fun. That's pretty much what we did.
I only found that out today. I just always thought the loading screens were really boring until I like moved the joystick. I was like, oh.
It's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, but most of those load screens I spent trying to, because I'd seen myself do the little cartwheel thing a few times, but then I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I just, like, in the load screens, I was like, okay, how do I do this move? How do I do this move? How do I do this move?
That's cool.
That's a good idea, actually. So, overall thoughts of the game. What do you guys think? Since you have finished the game.
Go out and buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely buy it because it's on so many platforms. There's no reason not to, really, because it's reasonably cheap. I got it for less than $30, I think. It's just a cheap game that you'll play for ages. You can easily come back to. You can play with a bunch of people. It's like a good party game, even, with the whole challenge element. It's good
It's also
for
great for kids.
all ages, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazingly good gameplay.
Yeah, like, and it's actually quite a hard platformer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The later few levels, they're very challenging, but challenging in a way that makes you go, oh, I think I know how to do it this time, or do it this way. It's not too frustrating that makes you hate the game. It's frustrating enough to make you love the game.
Most of the time, you just leave it and come back later, and you just flog it.
You
easy.
do it instantly.
Yeah, you just be like, oh, okay, that was easy. How did I get stuck on that
Yeah.
for an hour? But yeah, it's definitely got the thing there for casual players to hardcore gamers, because it does have that huge sort of floor to ceiling ratio kind of thing going on. It's beautiful. It's nice, very nice soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. Just the background music and the when you're hitting the red fry cooks in the I have no idea where you are. The lava land where you cook sausages or
Yeah, yeah.
something, and they like sound like little squeaky toys. Just
Yeah.
make me giggle. So, I mean, good games should be able to make you feel something, at least if it's not like, oh my god, super sad. This one just makes you laugh all the time, which is great. So, I mean, I got it for $30. I'm still enjoying it. It's very hard at times. It's not kind of a game I would sit down for like 6 hours and play, but it's something that I'd come back to and play every so often. You know, good chunk, half hour kind of thing. So, I would definitely recommend it. GG, cool. Lindsay dead or?
No, I'm here. I said my thing.
Oh, okay, cool. That's it.
Did you?
Sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
GG.
I said buy it.
GG.
And other stuff.
One thing that does concern me about this game is just the large-sized boobs on all these girls.
Yeah, I found that a bit like. It was a bit like this is a kids game, and then oh, that's
Yeah.
And they
But
animate
they're
as
cool,
well.
they give you powers. It's awesome.
the pharaohs are cool. It's just like everything else in the game is so
Silly and
non-human and
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, okay, these chicks are very
busty.
yeah, so exaggerated.
That's the only thing that kind of turned my head out when I saw this. Not a fork who was talking or a fry cook that
Yeah,
made
yeah.
lemons or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the woman with the large boobies.
Mm.
But yeah, everything else all good. GG. Now we're Terran or
How did we end it?
the end.
Alright, well that was our review of Rayman Origins. Hope you guys like it. Hope you go buy the game. It's a good game.
Buy 2 copies.
GG.
Yeah, buy it for your family. Buy it for everybody.
Isn't that so happy?
Anyways, this is it. We're done.
GG.
See you next time.
Can I buy? Can I buy?
Bye.
This is Indie Sandwich signing out. Good luck, have fun.
Meow 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 meow.
Meow 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 meow. Oh, GG.
End transmission.
Recording the